Larry Kudlow was in the room during that dinner, and Larry Kudlow joins us now. Larry, welcome to the program. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you, Sue.
What can you tell us about what was discussed between President Trump and President Xi that the president knows about, Michael Pillsbury knows about it, I'm sure you know about it. Can you give us a hint of what was discussed?
Yeah, Stu, can I, like almost everybody else in the world, my great condolences to the entire Bush family. I knew President Bush. When he was vice president, I worked for Reagan. I ran a whole lot of errands for him and was more than glad to do so. I also know President George W. Bush rather well. Papa Bush was a great man, and we all are sad at his passing.
That is true, Larry. No, that is very true. He was a great American, a wonderful man with a sense of honor and duty. And that's something that has to be said, Larry. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Now, regarding the dinner, I'm not sure what Mr. Pillsbury is talking about. I mean, look, let me begin with...
Can I just say, let me return to that for a second. Michael Pillsbury said that at that dinner, you were there, it went on for 3 hours, that some details were discussed about actual negotiations, specific negotiations about specific areas, and he implied that progress was made. Can you enhance that a little?
Well, I don't know. I mean, our release, and look, I'll tell you whatever I can tell you. I just want to say on this, President Xi and President Trump really had good chemistry. You know, all this talk that they're friends and so forth, I had not seen them together before, and they really had a lot of good chemistry. And President Xi really carried the ball, as was suggested to us in meetings earlier from Vice Premier Liu He. So it went according to script, but I think President Xi made the sale. Now, look, a lot of areas have been covered where there are Chinese commitments, which Secretary Mnuchin said earlier today, we hope will be turned into an actual treaty, an actual agreement. I just want to make one point. I don't know if this has come out yet. President Xi and Vice Premier Liu He has said to us their commitments will begin immediately, Stuart. Immediately. Okay. Now, I don't know that that point has been made. That doesn't mean we're going to cover everything in the first 3 days. However, when it comes to the agriculture, energy, industrial purchases, and so forth, these are private sector purchases where tariff rates will be lowered, and also non-tariff barriers will be lowered with respect to American ownership, for example, with respect to technology transfers, with respect to IP. Those things should kick in soon. We should see palpable changes on the Chinese side immediately, to quote Mr. Liu He. And I think that's a very important part of this, which has not been discussed yet.
Would that be including dropping the 25% tariffs that China imposes on our soybeans going to China? I think at the moment those tariffs are still in place. Are you telling us that they're immediately, very quickly, they're going?
Well, I don't want to be too specific, but I think the generic answer, Stuart, is that we will see changes very quickly. Okay, you mentioned tariffs on soybeans. The issue of rolling back tariffs was raised in other meetings that we attended, Bob Lighthizer, Steve Mnuchin, and myself, again with Vice Premier Liu He, where he indicated the tariffs would be rolled back, as would the non-tariff barriers. And I want to say this, I've always believed this. If China opens its markets, and that was one of the clear points that President Trump made at the dinner Saturday night. If China opens its markets, as they promised to do, and they're going to do it fast according to their promises, we will increase our exports substantially for the simple reason that whether it's agriculture or industry, the U.S. is the most competitive, efficient economy in the world today. as a result of the pro-growth measures taken by President Trump with lower taxes and deregulation and so forth, we outstrip everybody when it comes to competitive. So my point is a simple point. The President Trump wants to see a lower trade gap, okay? He's right. I believe increased exports will start immediately, quote unquote, and that will be accompanied by reduction of tariff rates and non-tariff barriers. So we should see results even in the 90-day period, which is being discussed, and the president is suspending the 25% barrier. We should see that pretty fast.